Hello, welcome to Heart Explained Therapy. I've got my notebook because this was an important one that I wanted to get right, and it's because I've had an experience of this, and this is tackling overthinking. Now, if you overthinking can cause anxiety, and I like to change the name of overthinking because I've had overthinking a few years ago. It was driving me absolutely mad, and I would say that not only does it lead to anxiety, and which you overthink the anxiety that it's caused, another thing that it does is it causes a sort of mania, and I think that doctors would probably prescribe this, would actually diagnose this with overthinkers, and I don't think it's quite right, and I don't mean it in a negative way, but it's kind of like a manic sort of way of being expressive. And I think there's certain reasons you're like this, and it's actually a talent and a skill if you can harness the negative overthinking, if you can harness a certain part of it, and there's going to be reasons why that are quite easy to do and quite natural, how you can really sort this out. And this is direct experience because I was absolute manic overthinker, and I realise now my overthinking is actually a creative part of my life now. When I'm overthinking, I can really tap into the positivity of that, and realise that it's just the way that I'm wired. It's not actually a bad thing. And I want to ask this you directly if this sort of rings a bell with your overthinking, because I would guess that 90% of people would get help from this if they're overthinkers and having this anxious sort of mania. And I also think that a lot of things that I will say that you're doing right now will be exactly what I was doing at the time, and how it's a cocktail for your overthinking to actually be really bad. Because remember, a lot of the thoughts that you have, your mind is a thinking machine, and it thinks very negatively about all of your realities that you see. So if you're not sort of recycling the ones that you don't need, this is going to cause a big part of mental health. And unfortunately, it's part of your mind that's actually really beautiful, and really it's actually a great thing to have. And if you haven't got this over-analysing mind, you're actually missing out on something. So actually, first of all, see it as a really good thing. Now, I would have a guess that you, if you are an overthinker, you probably smoke and drink, or do a certain addictive habit, and struggle to stop that habit for more than maybe a few hours, or I would argue that you've never been able to quit smoking or drinking for more than a week. Because what ties in with this overthinking and this stress is your body saying that you need your mind to slow down. It kind of is going to search for something to relieve that. And I bet you any money that you have found something, possibly negative, to actually try and slow down your mind. And it's kind of alcohol has been your healer, or over excessive smoking has been your healer, because it's the only thing that slows your mind down. I'm going to tell you things now that you don't need that addictive behaviour on those certain things. I'm going to replace these, and I know that I've written down now 4 things that I think straight off the bat will help you if you take them up instantly, and these are easy to do. You must get a good sleep pattern. As an overthinker, my sleeping was erratic, based on the overthinking, but also because I was somebody who thought that I could go 3 hours, 6 hours, get up at any time that I want, and it would be okay. This doesn't cure overthinking, this over-analysing mind. It doesn't help. You've got to start waking up the same time in the morning and going to bed on the night at the same time. You have to do this. If you're not doing this, you can't ever expect to slow this overthinking down. This is a crucial piece of information, and it's so easy to do. You can't be an erratic, you can't lie in and change the time of what you're getting up, because it alters all your biochemistry. And remember, the over-analysing mind is your biochemistry working on what you believe is overtime. It's actually quite natural, but it's on overtime because you're not doing these certain habits. Number two, you've got to eat healthy. I know that during my time when I didn't have a good diet, I would skip breakfast altogether. This doesn't allow the overthinking mind the ability to really focus. And as soon as I added a great diet, quite a large breakfast, fasting throughout the rest of the day, and then quite a large supper early enough before I went to bed. Once I got this routine, this cured me of overthinking. It was like it took my overthinking of negativity and stress and anxiety, it just washed it all away. So this is a key point. You've got to do it. And even if you wake up and say, I'm never hungry, never hungry in the morning, well, you're going to keep that erratic over analysing in your mind, and it's not going to be it's not going to give you the benefits. So you've got to force yourself to get into that routine. It's tough to start with. I'm not an early morning person who wants to eat breakfast, but you've got to do it because you'll feel the benefits. Number three, simple one again. This is just easy, and you know this. You need a bit of exercise. I find that if I don't get up and do my weightlifting routine, then I am not going to be able to cope or maybe catch the thoughts, because this is what you want to do with an overthinking mind. You want to catch the thoughts that are positive for you, that are beneficial, that help you feel good enough to problem solve, and get rid of anything that you would normally overanalyze, causes anxiety, and you're just in your head, you're snappy, you're short fuse, you want to stop up all night, you want to drink, and it's just you're lost in this cycle. So you're trying to catch thoughts. Exercise is a great way because you learn to breathe with the technique of exercise. You don't have to do weightlifting, even though I'd say that's the number one sort of exercise routine for mental health. I just think there's something about, trying to get a stronger weight and trying to sort of see a difference in your sort of technique improving over time. But this can be walking, this can be simple, whatever you can do. Go to the bottom of your staircase and go up one step, two step. Just do something like that. You'll see that this, because your attention is shifting, you're stopping the thoughts from going, crazy, and you just start to slow your mind down. You start to get some sort of rhythm. And number four is just getting all this into a schedule, a routine that you're going to stick by. This is your plan to stop the over-analysing. Now, I've got to the point now where I can catch overthinking and either stop it, and we're to the point where I literally feel like I haven't had a thought for an hour. It's quite a scary feeling because your brain is just set up for thinking. But I use my over-analysing to the positive creative point of my life that I need it to be at. It's great to basically overthink something, breaks down so many thoughts, and actually makes you really intelligent, really aware. So you're sort of saying something that's a problem that is actually your greatest skill. Now, I've also got a test. This might just be for me personally, but I realised that I always have a lot to say in my head and want to get stuff out 100 times, really quick. And you might be actually suffering from this. This is not a negative thing. It's called basically verbally fluid. Now, this is a technical term of it, and I think it's the same thing that I had for a couple of years, where you just sort of write the end of the sentence before you finish the sentence. You've just got a really quick, fast mind, and it's really great if you learn how to use it. If you don't learn how to use it, overthinking, anxiety, you're going to get negative behaviours come from that. Now, there's actually a test that you can do. Get a timer for 3 minutes, get a few friends around you, and pick a letter and write down as many letters you can inside 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever you want. And you'll see that this might be one of the traits that you have. It's called verbally fluid. If you can write 10 more, 5 more than all of your friends, it means that you're just a very fast thinker. Now, this fast thinking is very beneficial. It means you can problem solve. It means you can be open-minded to new beliefs, and you can actually learn more stuff than you ever think so. And I want to say that I used to believe I couldn't learn anything and I couldn't have a very good memory. I always had a bad memory. And I've realised that it's almost like them words were just making me not see what I could actually do. Your mind is capable of learning so much more and doing stuff that you don't believe that you can do because you're lost in the sort of mental health part of it, the anxious part of it. And you've got to see that overanalyzing, I think, just sounds a bit better than overthinking. Overanalyzing stuff is actually what every human should be really good at. And you've just got to sort out that negative part. Talk to people around you. Try and stop the bad habits if you are addicted. I know that I had a very addictive personality with this overthinking. Anxious people are going to be addicted to anything to slow the mind down. So remember, going back to those habits aren't going to help you. It's not going to give you the freedom to be able to shift it and shift the mental thoughts. And I think right now I've done this 11 minutes and I've been very quick trying to get out, and it's based on the experience. My mind is an overthinking mind. I will have the strangest ideas from one simple subject, and I'm sure that anybody who knows about this overthinking and has it will also know they have the same. And it's all right, it's okay to go in your imagination, but it's got to make you feel good. So use it. Pick up an art that you wouldn't normally do. Pick up a book if that's not what you normally do. Try stuff that you've never tried before. And I think that what you're trying to do is make sure you catch the good thoughts and keep them, and get rid of the bad thoughts, because the bad thoughts turn into bad feelings, and half the time that reality isn't real. It's got no substance to it. You've just overthought it to death. You've created a story. So I hope that's helpful for you.